is that if we want to talk about censorship, let's talk about it. It's real, guys, and it's something channels like mine or Nerdrotic or Critical Drinker need to be on top of 24/7.
Quiet part out loud right here.
Follow trends, although you literally say, I go to what's trending before I make a video. Something I don't do.
I just created a One Piece discussion right now. I just created one for the past 5 minutes.
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
I would have liked.
Did we just talk about One Piece for 5 minutes? Yes or no?
We didn't.
Yes,
One Piece was used, but we didn't talk about it.
No.
Welcome to every video we make. We use one little thing and then we build the narrative out of it. Don't act like that's not what we do.
I don't build a narrative. I give
You're
my
an absolute
opinion.
fucking.
You are hard.
Well, we do. You've made the same fucking video on the same topic at least 7 times a week, Ryan. And you're gonna act like we don't do that.
I talk about I talk about
says one fucking thing and we make a whole video out of it. That's what we do.
I talk about things that are in the news, and when something comes out that's an update to that, I talk about it, Jeremy. And guess what? If fucking there were more episodes of One Piece coming out and I cared about something like that or something that was topical to that, I would be talking.
Like, you guys were bringing up that Endymiontv one. That sounds interesting. Let me look this up. What is it? I think it's actually a Demion. I'm gonna get used to saying that, but woke weirdos target the Critical Drinker, Nerdrotic, Endymiontv, and more over the Marvels. Oh, woke weirdos. Okay.
What's up, everyone? It's Endymion, and there is something brewing right now that's forcing a lot of players in different corners of the entertainment space to come forward. For years now, there's been a culture war raging amidst the paying customer and the corporations that create content. Obviously, my channel champions the concept of free speech. I believe everyone should have their voices heard, even...
So, you're for diversity then? Because everyone should have their voices heard, therefore diversity good, right? Right?
If you don't agree with it. The importance of free speech is that beyond any other human right we have, it is the single most effective weapon you can use against the cacophony of false news that circulates every day.
Thank you. That's why I do this a lot, because I think it's important to get real information out there, and it's important for people not to get information from people like you.
It's also why it's so feared, because being able to say the truth is akin to exposing the Emperor for wearing no clothes. And now there's a new controversy brewing, all because of the Marvels. I don't need to bang on that drum much. The movie is bad, it bombed at the box office, and now multiple websites are running damage control. And now those who don't like what people like myself, Yellow Flash, Disparu, and more do are trying to advocate for us to be silenced. Also, later on, I'll talk a little bit about the Game Awards and how...
Actually, like, I'm not so much about, like, well, I'd like you guys to stop lying, for one thing. But, like, I don't really want you guys necessarily to be silenced. I would like it maybe if the algorithm didn't push you guys out so much, because you're lying. And that is an issue, in my opinion.
How this concept of free speech is affecting even what games get nominated when it comes to award seasons, like Hogwarts Legacy. Anyway, to begin, let's look at this article from Bounding Into Comics titled, Nerdrotic, Yellow Flash, Critical Drinker, and Jesse Grant targeted by censorship.
He's going into Bounding Into Comics. Just complete fucking bullshit.
Police. For opinions about the Marvels, YouTube appears to encourage reports.
True, Scott. No one's silencing them by calling them misogynists. They're just stating fucking facts.
This all began when a Twitter user decided to vocally express their discontent for how YouTube was pushing content about the Marvels onto their feed, with videos from people like Nerdrotic and Yellow Flash being some of the top results. By the way, don't harass this Twitter user, or I guess you can't really anyway, since they protected their tweets already and went into hiding. Regardless, don't dogpile, but instead let's decipher what exactly is
I mean, it's nice for him to actually say that. Most of his cohorts are all for that shit.
Going on in a civilized manner here. This user said, when I search about the Marvels on YouTube, why are these two in the top 10 results?
Oh yeah, no, I saw this, okay.
At YouTube, algorithm is pushing these hateful videos. To which Team YouTube replied, you can remove recommended vids on your homepage by selecting not interested in content you don't like. This will influence how YouTube suggests videos to you in the future. Which is true. If you don't like something, just click it and say not interested. We've all done it before, it's not revolutionary. But then, it got a little suspect since Team YouTube then said, also, we definitely want our community to help flag inappropriate content to ensure YouTube is a safe place for everyone. If you come across something that violates YouTube's policies, you can report it by following these steps. Then another user came into the fray saying YouTube should remove Nerdrotic's Blue Beetle videos because he uses the word taco in the title. And the movie is about Latinos, so this is somehow racist now. Which, let's just hit the brakes for a second real quick on that one. I saw that video this user talked about. There's nothing racist about putting a food that is ethnic to a group in a title. It's a joke, and again, taco is not a racist term. That would be like...
But the way they were using it was pretty fucking racist, you have to say. Well, I mean, it's not... Yeah, I mean, Hispanic Americans... Is that race? It's bigoted, let's just say that.
Since I'm Serbian, someone made a video about me and put the word cevape in it, which is a food Serbian people eat. That is not racist at all. It's just the name of a type of food. God damn.
It can be in the context, dude. Context matters. Did you know that? It's good.
These people are so sensitive these days. It's annoying. Honestly, it makes me wonder how some of these people who are chronic...
I hate that, Taki. Yeah, my videos get mixed with all theirs really all the time. So like, yeah, you guys gotta hit that do not recommend shit, cause yeah, I see it like it's also like it's largely because I get all the fucking Critical Drinker fans in my videos. Like they swarm those things. It's like they like, oh man, I need to get my chud content, I need to get my drinker in, I need to get my Nerdrotic in, and then at the end of the day, I need to get my rage in, I need to get pissed at organized chaos and fucking yell at him in the comments. It's like, I swear, that's like a chud day on YouTube. It's weird.
Online, even manage in real life when things like this make them cry this hard. Anyway, let's keep going. This is where it starts to get more suspect, where a user says, gladly, it's offensive for so many reasons. I can't believe it's still up. I just hate to give these people exposure and more clicks, and they even put the little crying emoji. These people are pathetic, man. Team YouTube then assures the user they'll review the video through their usual routines to ensure the video is not pushing anything racist. Thankfully, a real one comes through named Marlon Maciel who says, hey Team YouTube, how about accountability for people that falsely flag videos? Do you accept those people roaming free in your platform, or do you guys do what's right and ban them as well? And Team YouTube just kinda gives a whatever answer. Let's stop here for a second again. What Marlon says here is true. The use of false flagging is ridiculous and can be abused far too easily. This can lead to trolls who don't like a certain channel just flooding them with nonsense, and it's something YouTube fails to regulate. I once had a video about Diablo 4, which I won't even use footage of it in this video. And the reason why was because a channel with 100 subscribers falsely flagged a video of mine because I used a cutscene from that game. And the footage in question was taken...
I've gotten flagged for shit like that, just fight it, you'll win.
...from my copy of the PS5 version of the game that I recorded myself for my own personal play session. And YouTube failed to drop the copyright claim when a channel that small clearly did not have the rights...
Fight it. Fight it. Like... It doesn't even matter if you took the shot from them. Like if you like put your own content over it, it's yours. It's easy. Fight it. You'll win.
To Activision Blizzard's video game footage. And this is what I mean, is that if we want to talk about censorship, let's talk about it. It's real, guys, and it's something channels like mine or Nerdrotic or Critical Drinker need to be on top of 24/7. This is mostly because channels like mine and others are saying the quiet parts out loud, and we don't sugarcoat things in court.
Yeah, you do say the quiet parts out loud. It gets pretty funny sometimes. It gets pretty funny. And I feel like you don't know that expression. Like, typically, when you use the expression, say the quiet parts out loud, like, I guess you could use it to mean like, oh, you're saying the stuff you're not supposed to say. You're revealing hidden secrets. That's the thing. Like saying the quiet part out loud really only applies Like if you're exposing businesses, then you need to be like, Bob Iger and say the quiet part out loud. If like what you guys do when you say the quiet part out loud is you just do raw sexism and bigotry, and that's when you do the quiet part out loud. Like if you are literally not just doing bigotry and just calling out studios for shit, that's not the quiet part out loud. That's just you calling them out. That's different.
Corporate mandated nonsense. And I guarantee because of us, there has been a cultural shift in how people consume their content. And it's led to
God, I hope not. I mean, I don't think we've actually seen a significant shift. We've definitely seen a shift in the YouTube commenters who get toxic as fuck. But like in general culture, it seems like you guys are... It felt like you guys might get a little edge, and then it feels like you're losing ground now.
To a much more elevated and aware customer base. Which is good, by the way. I think it's great that anyone watching my videos or others become self-aware of the shady tactics and the underlying messages of what these corporations are pushing. Because otherwise, we end up...
I meant to say something. What the corporations are pushing. What are they pushing? Like, as far as I know, they're just kind of like, hey, watch our movies and buy our games. That's what they're pushing. They're pushing making more money. That's what they push.
Up in this typhoon of misinformation that will just...
True, Trump does say the quiet part out loud all the time.
Keep churning out garbage like...
Hell, like, you want to hear, like, these guys saying the quiet part out loud? Let me dig up that clip. I can show you guys a clip of these guys doing the quiet part out loud. And it's quite amazing. Quiet part out loud right here.
Follow trends, although you literally say I go to what's trending before I make a video. Something I don't do.
I just created a One Piece discussion right now. I just created one for the past 5 minutes.
Yeah.
No, you didn't. I would have liked.
Did we just talk about One Piece for 5 minutes? Yes or no?
We didn't.
Yes,
One Piece was used, but we didn't talk about it.
No.
Welcome to every video we make. We use one little thing and then we build the narrative out of it. Don't act like that's not what we do.
I don't build a narrative. I give my opinion.
Fucking.
You are hard.
Oh, we do. Shit. You've made the same fucking video on the same topic at least 7 times a week, Ryan. And you're going to act like we don't do that.
I talk about, I talk about
says one fucking thing and we make a whole video out of it. That's what we do.
I talk about things that are in the news. And when something comes out that's an update to that, I talk about it, Jeremy. And guess what? If fucking there were more episodes of One Piece coming out and I cared about something like that or something that was topical to that, I would be talking.
So anyways, that is a key example of saying the quiet part out loud. With Nerdrotic and Jeremy Griggs and all the gang.
Like the Marvels, or talking down to people in games like Spider-Man 2. What's happening here in this specific thread is you witnessing how easy it is for random users to falsely flag and try to tear down a YouTuber, which in this case is Nerdrotic. I'm a big fan of his and I've watched his stuff well before I even attempted to do this full time. So to say his content hasn't in some way shaped what I do would just be outright lying.
Oh, dude, I would hate, like, I feel sorry for you now, man. Like, maybe you'd be on an alright path if you, like, were inspired by, like, old Nerdrotic, but, like, Nerdrotic 2020 plus, oh, he's so fucking bad. Such a piece of shit YouTuber.
Nerdrotic does really good work, and his videos are great. And what we need is more of his stuff, because the more
oh god, no, he's awful. Fuck.
Things get called out and held accountable, the better entertainment will become in the future. But what we're seeing here is people advocating to censor and maybe one day deplatform people like Nerdrotic.
Well, I mean, I think, see, I have mixed feelings about, I don't know. Like, they are pushing hateful content, and they are pushing people down alt-right pipeline. And are they taking right-wing dark money? It's a thing that definitely exists. Are they taking it? I don't have any facts on that. I don't. It just looks suspicious. Because that's the thing. Like, with half these guys' arguments, you know they're full of shit. Their arguments don't hold any water under the slightest fucking scrutiny. So it does raise questions of, like, hey, are you guys actually, like, believing in anything? Because, like, yeah, hell, you watch Gary's old shit, like, he actually, like, honestly just talks about shit and nerds out over shit. Like, he honestly knows about shit. But then, like, he will now in every video push out lie after lie. And he has to know he's lying. And he's doing it for the money. Is it for the algorithm money? Does he just taking dark money? I don't know. But it looks suspicious. Doesn't look good.
And it's not because of the quality of his videos, but simply because he is exerting his right to free speech.
And that's the thing, like, does he have the right to lie? And I lean towards yes, he does have the right to lie. But now we also have to look at, like, why is he lying? Like, when lying becomes a profitable business, that's how you know something is wrong. Something needs fixed. And how do you fix that? I don't have all the answers. But if lying is profitable, that is bad, and that needs fixed.
And people don't like that. I don't personally know Nerdrotic myself, but I would back him up anyway, because what he's facing...
No, yeah, and absolutely. Like, I will happily call these guys out whenever they're lying, because they have the free speech to lie, and I have the free speech to call them fucking liars.
Here is similar to what I go through almost every day on this platform, as well as places like Twitter. Every day I'm harassed on Twitter and called names. Hell, if you...
Oh my god, you're harassed on Twitter? Oh, that's so sad. Because I've never been harassed on Twitter, ever! Not once have I been harassed on fucking Nazi Central. Dude, like, Twitter's a goddamn cesspool. You have more followers than me. I get harassed on Twitter all the fucking time. Half the time I just troll them back because it's obnoxious at this point. I literally have people who hate follow me. It's fucking weird, really. But you know what? Fucking fine. It happens all the fucking time. Like, and the fact is, at least I'm not going out and dedicating my whole YouTube channel to essentially lying. And here's the deal. Like, if you're inspired by Nerdrotic, it almost makes me wonder... Are you lying, or do you actually think this stuff is, like, true? Like, I kind of want to know, like, do you know you're full of shit? Because Nerdrotic and Critical Drinker and guys like that, I have pretty strong evidence to show that they know they're full of shit. With you, Endymiontv, I don't know. It's suspicious, but I don't know. Are you just a liar doing this for money? Or are you kind of one of the victims? You might be one of the victims, in which case I feel sorry targeting you, but like you've got a voice now, so you're gonna start lying too. I'm gonna point out your lies.
Type my name into Reddit, you'll get entire threads that just hate me without actually knowing me. Again, I'm not going to advocate that those Reddit threads or people on Twitter...
Well, I'm willing to bet if you say the shit you say on YouTube, on Twitter, yeah, they're just pointing out when you're lying.
...be silenced. Because as annoying and...
I guess, you know, maybe from your perspective, maybe you don't know you're lying. But, you, like, even if you... I guess technically you could say you're not lying if you don't know you're lying, but you are pushing out misinformation then. No matter what. Like, you're pushing out untruths, and that is a problem.
And fake is what they're saying is, it's still their right to use free speech. And all I can do is use my right to that same free speech to combat any narratives that look to tear me down without giving me a chance. What these people want is for us to...
I also feel like you're clumping yourself with Nerdrotic and Yellowfash. Yellowfash, that's correct. Critical Drinker. Those guys, like, you're getting big and you're getting popular. You are not on their level. Okay, let's pull up the Bounty in the Comics article, because he's clumping himself with those guys, and I'm not sure if they do that. If they do, then cool, but like, shitting into diapers, everybody. All right, so Bounty in the Comics, okay. Nerdrotic, Yellowfash, Critical Drinker, Jesse Grant targeted by censorship police for opinions about the Marvels. YouTube appears to encourage reporting. So yeah, you're not named. You just, you are just you're honestly just putting your name together with them to probably get the algorithm.
to be deplatformed, and they probably would love to hear if harm were to come to any of us as well. Because people like me...
No. I would just like you to stop lying for money. Stop pushing misinformation for money. That's all I want. That's literally all I want. Use your platform to actually, like, encourage, like, positive behaviors. And I'm not saying you always have to like everything that comes out, because not everything that comes out will be to everybody's taste. So you don't. And I don't. But, like, talk about it honestly. Don't just fucking push a narrative for money. Push a fucking narrative to insecure young men to get them to click on your videos and give you ad revenue. Or buy your fucking comic book or any of that shit. Don't do that.
Me and others don't subscribe to the mind virus, and that angers these people. Even earlier this month, we had confirmation of this very thing happening from Bounding Into Comics. HBO and Max executives create army of troll accounts to target critics of their movies and television shows, weaponizing identity politics.
Dude, okay, so number one, your source is Bounding Into Comics on that one. Not a great source. Not a great source. But let's go ahead. I'll look up that article right now. You already got me on Bounding Into Comics. Let's look into that right now. Report: HBO and Max executives create army of troll. Okay, so HBO and Max. So it's HBO and Max are kind of the same thing. Create an army of troll accounts to their movies and TV shows. News report comes from Cheyenne Roundtree at Rolling Stone. Okay. HBO bosses uses secret fake accounts to troll TV critics. Create fake accounts to fire back at critics, according to text conversations reviewed by Rolling Stone as part of a new lawsuit. It's paywalled. Fuck. Okay, this is the problem. I cannot look at the primary source because it's fucking paywalled. All I can tell you is right now they're talking about, this dude essentially made fake accounts to troll critics. And then they're framing it as army of accounts. Which is actually different. Like, this dude just making accounts to fucking troll people is different than fucking making an army of accounts. They're two different things. But I can't fucking look up the full context because it's fucking paywalled. By the way, chud websites aren't fucking paywalled. Like, so the chud shit can just go out there and it's free for everybody to read and get involved with. But, like, the actual, honest fucking news is fucking paywalled. That's part of the fucking issue. Part of the goddamn issue.
Critics of their movies and television shows, weaponizing identity politics. This report comes from Rolling Stone, where two executives at HBO, whose names are Casey Bloys, who's this guy in glasses pictured here, and Kathleen McCaffrey, admit to using their resources at HBO to create armies of bot accounts in order to silence their critics. They would use these bots to troll and push pro-HBO messaging onto any post that badmouthed or critiqued their network's content. These executives got ousted by a former staff member named Sully Tamori, who would...
Okay, so even based on your reporting, hey, there are executives who are making troll accounts who got ousted. Okay. Doesn't seem like a big deal.
accused HBO of harassing and damaging their future within the company after they came forward to tell their employer of a mental health diagnosis they recently filed for review. Tamori ousted Kathleen McCaffrey for looking into ways to create fake accounts that couldn't be traced via messages that they exchanged. Apparently, according to Tamori, these two executives wanted to create a system so that they could falsely flag content that went against their narratives and would silence anyone who didn't agree with them. Tamori's lawyers also said that HBO fosters a hostile atmosphere, and that these executives would bully and attack anyone who didn't do their bidding. And it eventually led to Tamori developing some form of mental instability, and now the lawsuit is here exposing all of this. Tamori even publicly admitted and shared an account that they were forced to make.
I just want to add, we're talking about two people who made troll accounts to dunk on people and were fired. And that was probably part of the reason they were fired. I mean, it's a news story, but it's not what you're making it out to be.
By those HBO executives in order to attack users on Twitter. The Kelly Shepard user here is actually Tamori, who uses this anonymity to push identity politics and push gender issues in order to defame someone who publicly
Because you guys have never used bot accounts, I'm sure.
spoke out against content on HBO. And of course, you also have PR firms like Bunker 15, which
Endymiontv is a chud, but like he's a newer chud, but he's like of all the newer chuds, he seems to be gaining the most traction, which is wild.
Openly admitted that they have thousands of writers within their reach, and they will oftentimes pay these writers checks in order to pander.
I mean, if you're wondering, he has way more views on average right now than Eric July. Let's see, he's got almost 200,000 subscribers. His views, like when you look at his videos, his views are fucking solid. It's a little disturbing. So this one's already at 70K, 120 on the last one 2 days ago, 250 4 days ago, 196 days ago, and yeah, he's been referencing South Park like mad recently. 200 7 days ago, 129 days ago, 136, and when I'm saying like 100, it's also K. He does a Blade is Gay video, 200K on that one. That was 13 days ago. So every couple of days, he will release a new video, and it will at least get 100K views. Like, he's doing, like, for the Chudpocalypse going on and, like, kind of not, like, hurting a lot of these channels, he seems to be fucking growing, which is weird.
And give movies higher scores in order to hopefully garner self-interest. Then we have friend of the channel, Price of Reason, who said a while back that even Kathleen Kennedy uses these same tactics to push narratives. And
some dude said Kathleen Kennedy does it, so that must be true, right? That's some dude I met on Twitter said Kathleen Kennedy does that, so it must be right.
Reason says that Gizmodo writer Jermaine Lucier was pushing Kennedy.
You see, like, they're pushing the idea that, like, they're making fake, like, there's armies of these fake accounts, when it's like, and then your one source is like, oh yeah, they made this one person is actually this other person. Oh, so they made one fake account. Now, I'm sure there's more than that, but, like, it's not this army that, like, Bounty in the Comics seems to be pushing it to be.
Narrative when Gina Carano got fired, to which they said, and I quote, "When Gina Carano was fired, I believe Kathleen Kennedy needed to make sure she could distance herself from the firing while also making both harsh and false accusations about Carano that way, and Carano would be humiliated and cancelled by the public, the media, and
quote, Price of Reason, YouTuber and friend of channel. Well, I mean, you got to take this quote to the bank.
The entire entertainment industry without it being directly tied to Kennedy herself. Enter Jermaine Lucier, who I believe is in Godfather terms, Lucasfilm's very own Luca Brasi. Furthermore, I believe that Lucier understood exactly what his position was and that he was more than happy to push Lucasfilm's narrative, especially if it would mean they would continue to give him special VIP access to premieres, Star Wars casts, and
well, if you want to talk a bit about Access Media, there is issues with Access Media. Absolutely. It doesn't have anything to do with diversity or wokeness or whatever the fuck you guys are calling it.
Crew interviews and scoops, end quote. So, as you can see, there's plenty of evidence already out in the open to suggest that these executives are deliberately working behind the scenes in order to silence voices that cost them money. I genuinely believe that people like Kathleen Kennedy and others are eventually going to strong-arm places like YouTube into censoring channels like mine and others on purpose. And it's
not about censoring. It's like, can you like stop fucking lying or spreading misinformation? That's the issue.
Not because what we say isn't true, but because
no, it's not true at all. What you say is bullshit.
They don't want the truth to spread. Because
no, you guys always love to push that narrative. Oh, we're just trying to say the truth and they're trying to suppress it. It's such bullshit. I'm sick of it. No. If you guys were actually, like, pushing the truth, I could do research and not debunk you every single fucking time I do research. Every fucking time I do research. Like, maybe you could dig out, like, one or two examples. So it's like, oh, yeah, I found something that proves you right. Almost always, I look it up, and you guys are lying or misrepresenting something. It's kind of amazing.
Maybe if channels like Nerdrotic, Yellow Flash, and Critical Drinker didn't say their pieces on the Marvels or host daily or weekly live streams in order to speak about these things publicly.
Oh, wow, he's been on a Critical Drinker stream. Well, he's getting up there.
Then maybe things like the MCU would be going just fine for them, because none of the problems or controversies that are bellowing beneath the surface would ever come to light. And then consumers would just blissfully waltz into a theater to consume the next gray slop from these studios without being none the wiser. And that's what these companies want. They don't want Nerdrotic or people like me to exist anymore.
So listen, if you have genuine critiques, which they do fucking exist, of these companies, use them. But when your critique boils down to women bad or minorities bad, get the fuck right out of here. Your opinion becomes worthless. Get out.
Because we cost them money. But sort of like how South Park's Pandaverse said, in a lot of ways, the existence of channels...
Yes. Okay, so you guys don't seem to understand that episode at all. Because that episode, like, it poked fun at Disney. It was saying Disney can get, like, uncreative and lame. And it can. It can. I mean, I will say one of my critiques of that episode is a very surface level read. But, like, yeah, Disney can absolutely get uncreative. And, like, when these box office budgets balloon up, it'll make them want to play it even safer and safer. So they'll play it safe while trying to get the biggest audience. Absolutely true. But you know what else? And Pandaverse kind of said that. But what else it pointed out was that, like, guys like Eric Cartman, who was clearly established to represent all the chuds, as he was established as being the person who sent literally all the hate mail to Kathleen Kennedy. He's established to be a big fat racist.
At first, they were just dreams. But now I feel like I'm actually changing. Why would I be having visions that I'm a diverse woman?
Because you're a fat racist piece of shit?
So essentially, they're saying, okay, we have one side. Uncreative corporate execs just pushing out stuff for money. On the other side, we have fucking racist. And you guys ignore the fact that I point out on the other side there's racist. You guys just completely fucking ignored it because it goes against what you want to talk about. But, okay.
Channels like mine and others only exist because of their hubris and misinformation. To be real with you, this channel, this place called Endymiontv, exists as a response to the maelstrom of nonsense.
I saw Sam Cedar cover it. It's kind of interesting, the Shapiro-Kansas Owen fight. Yeah.
That keeps erupting out of Hollywood and the games industry almost every single day. Prior to the pandemic, I was like you. I watched and I just kept my voice silent. Because I was skeptical that anyone would want to listen to what I
It does seem like the pandemic broke a lot of people's brains.
Have to say. But once I saw stuff like The Last Jedi in theaters opening day and I played games that were clearly...
Well, wait, was it after the pandemic or before? Because Last Jedi was 3 years before the pandemic, dude.
Talking down to me like The Last of Us Part 2, it eventually drove me to the point where I had to do something about it. And honestly, even when I started making content, I tried to censor myself on purpose. Because I was afraid what I actually thought about things would get me shadow banned or removed before I even really started. But then I made a video, which to this day is my most watched one, which is how Western developers got mad about Elden Ring. And that was the video where I let my real voice slip out for a second. And I actually said what was on my mind and didn't censor myself. And then I saw the response and went, well, shit. Maybe people do want to listen to what I actually have to say. And now look where I am, with you watching and me doing this full time. I love doing this, and it's not just because it pays the bills, mind you.
I do wonder what he said in that.
But because it feels like what I'm saying is changing the landscape, if even a little bit. And these bot armies, these users strong-arming YouTube and others into censoring people like myself or Nerdrotic.
Wait, is it bot armies, or is it people, like... That's the thing, like, do we want to say, like, reporting videos for having misinformation is censorship? I guess it is, technically, but, like, it is misinformation, and you guys are not fucking, like, self-censorship is a thing that exists. Like, we all have random crazy thoughts, and maybe we shouldn't just like spill them out all over the place, especially online. Maybe if we have big platforms, maybe we should be somewhat responsible with those big platforms. And I think, to a degree, Trump kind of broke a lot of brains on that one, because he had the biggest platform of all, and he was irresponsible as fuck with it. And he would literally just say anything. Like, half the time he's screaming about, like sometimes he's even saying, like, good stuff, like the government should pay for healthcare. But then other times he's, like, saying just, like, the problems are all the immigrants, and we need to stop them at the border. And then he'll also turn around and say, let's talk about toilet flushing, because toilets are flushing and they aren't, like, going like they should. It's like, he literally just, like, no fucking filter on that guy, for better or worse. And that's part of the problem. Like, when you have a big platform, there should be kind of a responsibility of that platform to honestly push, at least try. Like, I'm not saying you have to always be 100% accurate, because I'm not always 100% accurate, but at least try to be responsible with the messaging you put out. Try to at least be honest and truthful, not just with your opinions, but with actual facts and data. And that's not what these guys do, and that is a problem.
Is something I'll fight back against no matter what, because like I said earlier, your right to free speech is the most important thing you have as a human being in this world.
True, but like, do you have a right? I mean, yes, I guess at the end of the day, you do have a right to just push lies and bullshit, but is that a good thing? Like, is that a thing that should be encouraged? Because these guys are getting paid. They're making bank for pushing lies. And that just seems wrong. Doesn't it seem wrong to you? It seems wrong to me.
No matter what school teaches you or what your bosses tell you to think, deep down, you know it in your heart that there is something wrong with the way the world is right now. And ultimately, your best and only tool will always be your free speech. And if we let institutions and power-hungry executives use their power, we'll all eventually lose the single most important power we have against these sorts of things.
Well, executives might... We haven't seen a major push towards it. But, like, you know, a world where, like, corporations control all avenues of free speech does seem like a possibility. And that is scary. But that's not what we're talking about when we're dealing with the issues with Critical Drinker and Flash and Nerdrotic. We're dealing with people who lie for money.
Look, Nerdrotic did nothing wrong. Neither did Yellow Flash. And
they're lying for money. They're pushing, frankly, mainly young men into a negative space. They're assholes. They're using their platform to make money exclusively. That's all they care about, making money, by the way. That's it. They will say whatever makes them bucks.
I'll always push back against weirdos who advocate for censorship. For all we know, those users in that viral thread were also bot accounts made by executives.
Sure, why not? Let's just throw that out there. Let's conflate shit.
How can we even tell anymore at this point? And like I've been saying, that free speech is important, just look at the Game Awards. They recently announced all their nominees, and Hogwarts Legacy got absolutely 0 nominations.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I heard, correct me if I'm wrong, I heard that Hogwarts Legacy hasn't had any DLCs yet. It came out last year. And I've been playing Diablo 4 and Diablo 4, like, it hasn't had any DLCs, but it's like, it's had two, it's on its second season right now, and, like, every season comes with, like, major updates, changes in gameplay, changes in functionality. There's been big updates to that game since it came out earlier this year, and is Hogwarts Legacy just running on the same Steam it had before? Because that's not good.
People were confused by this since the game sold over 15 million copies and it holds an excellent Metacritic score.
Just because a game sells well doesn't mean it's, like, amazing, like it's one of the best games. I want to stress, I've heard all right things about Hogwarts Legacy, but, like, there are lots of good games that came out too.
So what gives? Some people will tell you it's because Hogwarts just wasn't good enough in a year stacked with great games.
That is true. Yeah, there was supposed to be really good games this year.
Like I said, through the power of free speech, I'll tell you exactly why it didn't get nominated. And it's because Hogwarts Legacy is based on Harry Potter, and its creator J.K. Rowling has very public opinions when it comes to things like women's rights.
Well, that's one way to say it. Very public opinions on things like women's rights. Okay, you know what? Fuck it. I'm getting a little burnt out. I'm getting a little tired. I'm going to wrap up after this stream. But we're going to go ahead and take a visit to J.K. Rowling's Twitter account. Because I'm sure there, she's going to just say stuff about women's rights. And she's not going to do any fucking turf shit, right? Let's check it out. So I want to stress, okay, J.K. Rowling. She pays Elon Musk for that blue check mark. So, I will go ahead and give her a pass. Because you know what? She's a major public figure. You know, you want those securities. Okay, pinned tweet. Men defining what a woman is, what a woman should and shouldn't fear, what women should and shouldn't say, and women's rights should be fine without giving up, and of course, what constitutes real misogyny when a bloody mirror. Real misogyny looking right back at you. Okay, so, like, here's the deal. On the face of it, okay, but, like, it's one of those things you gotta dig deeper. Oh, wow, look at this. Third tweet up here. I'm an autistic woman who at 17 years old identified as transgender. As you may know, autistic people are more likely to identify as transgender than your average person. I was not trans. I was not given therapy, but I will have benefited from explorative therapy to figure out why I felt the way I had. So, here we go, pushing some anti-trans shit right there. Why are you retweeting that one? That's interesting. Pronouns, he, okay. I guess the name of the article. Let's see. I've been contacted by innumerable doctors, nurses, therapists, teachers, social workers, and academics who believe we're living through social media medical scandal. Please give examples of my lies, proof. Let's see. Are people going to post it? Women's rights are being destroyed in the name of a parody of social justice, politics, and policymaking, and are turning towards ideology and away from evidence. The social medical scandal is being played out on the bodies of children. So yeah, there's lots of turf shit there. The abuse of children shit. Transgender surgeries don't happen to fucking children unless there's something extreme. Freddie Trenchard, also known as Alyssa Christine, was referred to in court as Miss, as per his request while on trial for raping a young woman. Yeah, let's cherry pick some cases. Here's a trans woman who is let's go ahead and misgender them because they committed a crime and they're a piece of shit. Trans people can be pieces of shit. I just want to state that. Like, just because trans people exist doesn't mean they're, like, morally, like, more virtuous than any other person. Just kind of point that out. But geez, like, we've already come across, like, numerous trans shit. Or turf shit. Like, come on, man.
A lot of these liberal-infested websites lost their minds when Hogwarts Legacy was coming out, which you obviously know.
Yeah, no, I think the campaign against Hogwarts Legacy was a bit poorly thought out. It's like I understood the spirit behind it, but like, yeah, it was poorly thought out in my opinion. But anyways, it is what it is.
Saying that we shouldn't play it or we're all transphobes. Even websites like Axios refuse to cover the game in any way in order to pander to identity politics.
Well, no, it's because J.K. Rowling, like if J.K. Rowling didn't, like, spend half of her day just reposting fucking turf shit, maybe it won't be such a big deal. But that's, like, I swear to God, it's all she fucking does anymore, is posting fucking turf shit. It's ridiculous. She's a fucking joke anymore.
And now comes the Game Awards, and Hogwarts Legacy has been completely removed from any category, as if it never existed. And let me remind you,
so how many awards was Hogwarts Legacy entitled to? I'm just wondering, which awards was it required to be nominated for? I just wonder. I wonder.
That the Game Awards chooses which games become eligible for certain awards by votes. And those votes are garnered through game studios, publishers, and you guessed it, video game websites. So of course these gaming websites like Axios, Kotaku, or IGN all very likely didn't give a single vote to Hogwarts Legacy for any category. And it's not because the...
Okay. I'm just gonna go ahead and make this, kind of throw this out there. So, like, what you're saying is people from these websites used their free speech to not vote for Hogwarts Legacy, and you are against that? So wait, are you for or against free speech? I mean, that's an interesting take from you. Because I thought you were for free speech. And if you're for free speech, then what you're saying is that these websites, the people behind these websites use their free speech. That sounds like what you're fighting for. Hey! Right?
The game isn't good, but because of the political fallout these websites would get, which by the way, wouldn't be from fans, but from other websites. So what happened here...
What? What the fuck are you even talking about? Like they're gonna get fallout from other websites? What the fuck?
With Legacy is simple, and it's just another example of the...
Dude, I don't think any website's gonna get fallout if it does a positive review of Hogwarts Legacy. There might be some people in the comments, but like if somebody gives an honest review of Hogwarts Legacy and gives it a positive review, I'm fine with that. Like, that is absolutely fine. It's possible to separate art from the artist. The thing why it gets tricky is because J.K. Rowling is still very much alive. She has vowed to put a lot of her money into turf causes. That's where it gets really fucking sticky. But, like, I understand the urge to separate art from the artist, and sometimes when you're judging art, that's exactly what you gotta do.
The entire gaming industry just being an echo chamber. And it's also why every game nominated for Game of the Year suspiciously has tons of progressive woke pandering within it.
Does it? Does it? Do you got a source on that one?
Alan Wake 2.
And also, what is woke? Can you define woke for me? That'd be nice. I mean, I think I did a video. That's right. What was it you said woke was? Do I still have that clip? What was your definition? I think I clipped you saying you're giving your definition of woke. It was really weak sauce. I don't know if I still have it, though. Let's see.
But what is wokeness? That word gets thrown around a lot, with it meaning to be awake and to be alert to racial prejudice and discrimination. But there's another definition for it, but you won't find it in any dictionary. And that's when something is woke, it usually means it's garbage, a charade, and at its core, it's utterly soulless.
So garbage, a charade, and utterly soulless is a definition of woke he uses, which is pretty fucking general.
And Spider-Man 2 are on there, and both of those games are clients of Sweet Baby Inc., which is a group that explicitly helps games make their games more inclusive. And before anyone says it, yes, even Baldur's Gate 3 panders in the beginning by allowing you to choose your gender and shape, without distinctly saying
yeah,
male or female. But again, this just continues to prove what I said, which is
I've heard amazing things about Baldur's Gate 3, too. That's supposed to be a fucking fantastic game.
That all games that got nominated adhere in some way to the pandering of modern-day products.
Oh, the pandering. So just, like, including, like, minorities and women is pandering? Is that it?
And if you call that out or align yourself in any way with someone the entire industry has collectively agreed is not allowed at the dinner table with them, in this case being J.K. Rowling, you're then excluded from getting awards. And that is...
Well, she is using her giant platform to fuck over trans people who are they're kind of a people, trans people just get fucked over. Like, the treatment of trans people is disgusting, especially on social media. But let me dig up a clip. You've seen this before if you've seen me, if you've seen this stream. But we'll drop it in here, because it's good to talk about whenever we're talking about TERFs.
Oh yeah, because you know it's been long overdue a challenge. The trans community. Oh, they've had their guard down for too long, if you ask me. They'll all be checking their privilege on the way home now, thanks to you brave little cis boy.
Is simply because the game industry, which they won't admit it, is one massive echo chamber. And this year alone proves that more pandering is coming, because if they don't do that, they'll get treated like Hogwarts Legacy did. But again, I can say that because of my ability to use free speech. If I was on the payroll of any of these gaming companies and I said this sort of stuff, I would be immediately blacklisted and excommunicated for my beliefs.
It kind of depends, but yeah, it also depends on what contract you sign and shit like that. But yeah, if you start and like I said, it all kind of depends on your contract. And like, I know you guys like to do the example of Gina Carano. Gina Carano was actually in between contracts and they didn't renew it. Fun fact, and she didn't have a right to have her contract renewed. She didn't. But yeah, if you're speaking out like in stuff like where the contract says, yeah, you can't do that, yeah, they'll fire you for that shit. And then if you're not working under a contract, yeah, they'll fire you for whatever the fuck they want.
So in the end, what we're seeing here from people trying to cancel Nerdrotic to Hogwarts Legacy getting the cold shoulder is all varying levels of the echo chambers and what these people believe in and want to silence. Nerdrotic will likely be fine, which is good, because we need more voices like his now more than ever before.
So cringe.
And I guarantee we're getting a sequel to Hogwarts Legacy, and it'll probably also be ignored come award season again. And it won't be because of...
Yeah, it'll be because of people using their free speech, dude.
Game quality or scores. The game could get a 95 on Metacritic next time, and these pandering places will ignore them anyway. And it's whatever, because award seasons are pointless.
Yeah, no, Phil, yeah, the chud channels in a lot of these spaces are echo chambers. In fact, maybe that's probably a good thing why I get a lot of their audience, because it means I'm piercing their echo chamber a bit, and it's probably a good thing.
They're mostly fabricated to begin with. And let's be real, people only watch the Game Awards for game announcements anyway.
Oh wait, so if the Game Awards don't matter, why do you care? I was a little tired for that video, but like, it was a bad video anyway. He's getting up there in views. He's getting a lot of fucking views for his size. He seems like he's a growing channel. Venom is gay. Blade is gay. Racist. Using the same Twi'lek girl in possibly Twi'lek AI generated sexy picture in there. The exact same thumbnail twice in a row. Very, very well thought out guy. No, God. And that's the problem. That is the problem. These guys are pushing their negative shit. It's frustrating. But fortunately, I'm here, making almost no money, pointing out how they're always wrong. So, you know, keep on chugging at it.
Books, records, films, these things matter. Call me shallow. It's the fucking truth.
What's the matter, guys? Too challenging for you? That's my job. I'm meant to challenge people. If you don't like being challenged, don't watch my shows. Oh, yeah, because you know it's been long overdue a challenge. The trans community. Oh, they've had their guard down for too long, if you ask me. They'll all be checking their privilege on the way home now, thanks to you brave little cis boy.
I guess just wailing on woke stuff all the time is pretty lazy, too.